Hey guys, so today we'll be seeing how to render a model which has been exported from V-Ray using layer adjustments in Photoshop. So let's get started. So the first step is to bring in your rendered view into Photoshop. Then you have to visualize how you want your view to be rendered in Photoshop. This means deciding what textures go where. For example, in this scene, this area would have the grass texture, the steps in the coping would have the granite texture, and this road here would have an asphalt texture. And the cladding, of course, can be decided as we go. We can improvise on what materials go where and whatever looks good through the process, but to have an overall idea of how we want it to look is important. In this video, we'll primarily be using layer adjustments to create the same view render. So to do that, the first step is to create a selection of the area that you want to fill in with the new pattern. And to do this, I will be using the polygonal lasso tool as there are only regular shapes in my entire render. So here I am clicking and outlining the area where I want my pattern to appear. And since in this region there is a recess and I don't want my pattern to be there, I will have to remove this part from my selection, and to do this I am going into my subtractive mode of my polygonal lasso tool and removing the same from this selection. So now once the selection is done, I will head over to my layers panel, and at the bottom of the layers panel you can locate the small circle icon which is the create new fill or adjustment layer. When I click on this icon, you will see a list appear which shows all the different kinds of adjustment layers that can be created. And when I click on the option pattern, you will notice that a new pattern adjustment layer has been created and my selection has been filled with a pattern, and a small pop-up window called pattern has appeared on my screen. The pattern that has been applied to my selection by default is the last pattern in your pattern library. When you click on this icon to drop down, you will see all the patterns that are available to you in Photoshop. You can select the pattern that you desire. You can also adjust the scaling of the pattern by moving the slider to get your desired sizing for your pattern. When you're done with these settings, you can say OK, and now you'll notice that your selection is filled with the pattern of your choice and at the right scale. You can rename your layer as well. If you wish to change your pattern at any point, you can just double click on the icon in your layers panel and reset the texture to whichever one that you desire, and the texture will be replaced. Now repeating the same process on the other side, just by selecting the region I want my pattern to appear and creating a pattern adjustment layer. There is a reason why we're creating the textures for different faces in different layers, and we will see to that in a little while. So the same process must be followed for all the textures in the scene. So for the sake of this video, I'm going to finish up that process for you. Now, similar to a pattern fill, you can also fill selections with one single color. To do that, in your adjustment layer options, you can click on the option called solid color, and when you click on it, this color picker will come up. You can select the color that you desire and a new solid color adjustment layer will be created in your layers panel. So once you're done placing all the patterns and textures in your scene, the next step would be to bring in elements like trees, bushes, and birds to populate your render. You can resize them, rescale them, and position them as you desire. If you wanted to replace the sky with a sky of your own, you can simply make a selection on the base layer using one of the selection tools like Magic Wand or Magnetic Lasso and create a layer mask. As you know that in a layer mask, the white regions are the visible portions of your image and the black are the hidden regions. So if you wanted to hide something else, you can simply select the brush tool, which is set in black color, and paint over the regions that you want to hide in your image. Now following the same procedure to hide the unwanted areas from our trees and our bushes. As you guys must have noticed that every time you created a new adjustment layer, a mask was automatically attached to the layer, which means that you also have the ability to hide and unhide parts of the pattern or the color fill as you wish. And the procedure to do it is the same as using your brush over your layer mask. You can set it to black to hide something, and you can set it to white to make something visible. So now we can bring in the sky that we like, resize it and position it right behind our base layer. Now we don't always find elements like trees and bushes which match the color scheme that we are going in for our render. So in order to do that, we can introduce a couple of color corrections to make them match with our overall color palette. So before we do this, I'm first going to group the elements which can be commonly color corrected, like the trees and the bushes. And to do this, I'm going to hold shift to select all the layers and use the shortcut Ctrl+G to create the group. So now once the group has been created, we can create a new adjustment layer called Hue and Saturation. So when I create a Hue and Saturation adjustment layer, you will get a couple of options where you can control the color of the scene with the hue slider. But now you can see that if I adjust anything in the hue and saturation slider, it affects all the layers which is underneath. That includes the sky and the building as well as the trees. So if I want to restrict the hue and saturation adjustment layer to be applied only to my group, I can right click on the adjustment layer and click on the option called create a clipping mask. So now you guys can see that the adjustment that is happening is only to the group that it has been clipped to. Now following the same process to adjust my hue and saturation for the grass, I'm making a copy of the hue and adjustment saturation layer by holding Alt and dragging it over the grass layer and creating a clipping mask. Now the grass texture might appear a little too clean and neat, and in real life no vegetation would be that uniform. So to make it appear a little bit more non-uniform, we will be using the layer mask which has been attached to our pattern adjustment layer and creating a little non-uniformity by using brushes to unhide certain regions. For this purpose, we will be using specific grass brushes. As you can see, you can get different types of grass brushes that you can use to paint over the region. You can either freely download them from online or also define your own brushes. Now, as you can see that since all the patterns have been added by us into Photoshop, there isn't any sense of light and depth on any of the surfaces, and currently all the surfaces just look like they're receiving light from one end. So to create that variation of light on different surfaces, we will be introducing a levels adjustment layer and controlling the darkness and brightness of the different faces to create a variation in the shades on different surfaces. The process of creating a levels adjustment layer is similar to the others, like hue and saturation. We will have to create an adjustment layer, clip it to the layer that we want to affect, and then adjust the values. Now we can complete our render by adding elements like human beings, birds, and anything else that you'd like. To create shadows for the human being, you can simply make a copy of the layer, transform it by using the distortion transformation, and adding a levels adjustment layer to make a silhouette of the shadow. You can now add a Gaussian blur to the shadow to make it a little bit more dispersed and faded out, and adjust the blend modes and the opacity for the same. Similarly, if you wanted to add a little bit more drama to the scene, you can draw light rays by using the polygonal lasso tool, filling it with a light yellow color, and applying the same Gaussian blur to the rays and adjusting the blend modes and the opacity of it. Now once everything is done, our render is pretty much complete. The last step is to color grade our render as we want, and to do this we can add another hue and saturation adjustment layer to correct the colors of our overall scene. And we can also add another photo filter adjustment layer. So the photo filter adjustment layer will actually give us a couple of options like sepia, orange, red. It changes the overall hue of the scene, and this can be used to set your scene to different moods. Like if you wanted a warm mood in your scene, you can use the warm colors like orange, reds, and yellows. And if you wanted a cooler mood in your scene, you can use the cooler colors like emeralds, blue, etc. You can adjust the density of the photo filter, and your render is complete. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and watch this space for more of such content.